what do you think about Ivan Toney going to Chelsea?
Ivan Toney. Well, he's got two names. Two first names for a whole name.
I'll see you in a minute. Love you.
So
Bye. Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for your second Chelsea news video of the day. And this is an exciting time to be a Chelsea fan. It's also an exciting time to be a subscriber of the George Benson Football Channel because you have got content coming out of my ears into your sub box or my mouth. Just digging holes here, aren't I? You know what I mean? Make sure you're subscribed, and whilst you're at it, the love from you lot over the course of this summer has been immense. Smack a like on this video. Let's keep it going. And if you do want to buy the new Chelsea kit, GBFC10 is your discount code. And please buy it with the link in the description. Gets you a discount, directly helps me out a little bit to recoup some of that money that I spent on the pre-season tour. So, we have got some mega news to discuss this evening. There's still questions about whether or not the source of this is bang accurate. Ivan Toney to Chelsea is the big news that we're going to discuss here. And this came from Sky Sports, who haven't always been the best in the past at reporting on accuracy terms, but like, you know, we're going to talk about it anyway, and by the time you actually see this video, we might have some more concrete sources discussing Ivan Toney to Chelsea. It's a name that I didn't mention in the video previous today, that Isak and Gyökeres options were ones that I discussed if Victor Osimhen to Chelsea doesn't go through. But there's also tons of other Chelsea news that we're going to discuss. So we're going to park the Ivan Toney bus. Ivan Toney. We're going to park his bus for a second. And we're going to discuss Chelsea agreeing an undisclosed fee with Saudi Pro League club Al Ettifaq for Harvey Vale. Sources close to Vale have indicated that Steven Gerrard's side have offered a bigger salary than what he earned at Chelsea, but he is not going to rush his decision. Look, Harvey Vale is a really talented young player. Because of the way that Chelsea have been doing business, and to be quite honest, he's not quite good enough for Chelsea, but he's been a player that has been very highly looked at in the academy. He's been very good in the youth years and development teams at Chelsea. And to be fair, if I was going to say any club that Harvey Vale would go to, picking a Saudi club would have been the last of my predictions for where he could end up this summer. Chelsea do want to sell him. Obviously, we've spent a lot of money. We're bringing in a lot of wingers. And he's been going on a couple of loans. I think he was at Bristol Rovers last season. It's not really Chelsea level. And I think for Harvey Vale's career to keep progressing, this could actually be a really good move. Going to Saudi, yes, obviously, the elephant in the room here, it's not really an elephant anymore, but you're going to get a load of money, mate. You're going to make yourself serious packet. And at the same time, the Saudi league, as much as it's still not as recognised as, let's say, the English leagues, for example, there is a lot of good players there. And it could be a really great place in terms of development to show how good of a player he can be. Because European clubs are not only selling their players to Saudi teams, but at the same time, they'll also be looking more at the league, the bigger the names are that go there. Things have kind of quietened down a bit this year. They're not signing the Neymars, Benzemas, Ronaldos anymore. But still, I think this could be a decent move. Chelsea, undisclosed fee right now, but it means that we'll once again be getting pure profit on the books for a player that probably doesn't really have a future at Chelsea. I wish him all the best. Good luck, Harvey, mate. And we move into the news that Kepa Arrizabalaga is going on loan to Bournemouth. He is going on loan to Bournemouth as Chelsea bring in another goalkeeper. We've talked about this one before whilst we were in America, but official, confirmed. Chelsea have completed deal for Mark Penders as Belgian goalkeeper joins in July 2025. Deal done weeks ago with Genk for €20 million package as revealed. Now made official and formally sealed. 2005-born goalkeeper will stay at Genk on loan this season. The bloke is 18 years old, €20 million is a hell of a lot of money, but I've heard a lot of people tell me that he could be the next Thibaut Courtois which sounds fantastic, but Gaga Slonina was also supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread, and well, he's been going on loan and loan and loan. With all of these signings now, I think if Chelsea are winning football matches, I don't really mind how many players we buy for the future, as long as we're not going to get in trouble with PSR rules. I don't mind how many players we stockpile with the idea of having like the most talented squad for 10 years, whatever. I don't mind this as long as Chelsea are winning, the team are progressing, and there isn't an oversized squad, which there isn't. That's just a fake narrative. But at the end of the day, I don't really know much about this guy. He's 18. Maybe he doesn't know too much about himself other than the fact he's a goalkeeper and he's Belgian. So I hope that he does really well at Genk this season. And I hope that when he does eventually come to Chelsea, he makes it. Same with every single signing that we will make. But anyway, I know you guys are mainly here to hear what I have to say about Ivan Toney. This is, I'm not going to lie, this is the kind of signing that I would be very, very quietly happy with. As much as I've been Osimhen to Chelsea all summer long, Ivan Toney's one of the players that I really like. I think in terms of Premier League proven quality, guaranteed goals, different profile to a Jackson, Nkunku, Palmer, all of these attacking players that we've got, he's very different. But let's take a little look here at the news side of this before we go into this in more depth. Chelsea have made a move to sign Ivan Toney from Brentford. They want a proven goal scorer to be their new number 9. He will fit into their wage structure and transfer fee will be reasonable. Toney has incredible offer from Saudi, but Chelsea can offer Premier League football. I've been seeing all over social media today and yesterday that Ivan Toney's agreed a deal to go to Saudi Arabia. I think the fee was something around 60 million euros, and he'd be making an absolute ton of money to move to Saudi. And look, we know about the history of the man gambling. I reckon he does love having a few dollars in his pocket at the end of the day. But let's be honest, right? When it comes to this whole Osimhen story, I know I've spoken about it a lot, and I still think if it isn't Toney, it's going to be Osimhen. This is basically where I'm at with this whole thing. I think Chelsea have always wanted Victor Osimhen, but time's getting on a bit, guys. The transfer window's only open until the end of this week, and we're not seeming to get any closer to getting Osimhen to lower his wages. Napoli have done their part. They've kind of lowered the asking price for Victor. But Ivan Toney, I think this could actually be a genius signing. He doesn't quite fit into the he's got to be under the age of 23, 24 ruling that is we've now proven is nonsense really at Chelsea. I think he is the kind of level of experience and leader that could elevate this Chelsea team massively. I'm not entirely sure if it would be he's guaranteed to play every week. He can be a very selfish player in the way that he's got this arrogance and can do so much. He's an incredible finisher, but he's also a selfless player. He also involves his teammates a lot. He works really hard for the team. And I think maybe if we're doing comparisons between Victor Osimhen and Ivan Toney, I think maybe he fits Chelsea's system a bit better. But I think the main reason why this would be a really good deal, and I know what you're going to be thinking right now, Benson, you're flip-flopping again, you wanted Osimhen. Look, I still really do want Victor Osimhen, but I'm certainly not turning my nose up if Osimhen's unavailable for Chelsea. Ivan Toney is a brilliant striker for us to bring in. If he's still going to fit within that wage structure, brilliant. Chelsea don't need to break the bank for anybody. We don't need to adjust something that we've been quite rigid and set in our ways on since this has come in. This is the way we work. Consistency. And I think the moment the club look to be inconsistent and they're happy to just pay someone whatever they want to come in, then a lot of players within the club will be like, well, okay, well, if I have a really good season, then I'm going to demand $250,000 a week, 300 grand a week. This is exactly what Chelsea are trying to get away from. But at the same time, performance-based incentivized contracts where if you do deliver to the levels that you should be, if you want to get paid 200 grand a week, then you're going to get it. That's exactly how I think every club should be doing business, to be honest. So Ivan Toney to Chelsea. I think this could actually be an incredible deal. He's got that Premier League experience. He's a proven goal scorer, can score loads of different types of goals. And what I like about Toney is that he's a bit of an arsehole. Do you know what I mean? And I mean that in a way where he could bully Premier League defenders. He's got a little bit about him where he's got that bull in him. He's got that fight in him. And I think, to be fair, if you look at someone like Mark Yu at Chelsea, what a great player to look up to in terms of that build, that profile, the actual like size of the man. It's a great player for Yu to look up to. I think this could be a really good potential option for Chelsea. I'm not going to talk about it anymore now. The chances are I'll be asleep. And tomorrow morning's news video, we'll know a little bit more about this. More journalists will start to talk about Toney, potentially, if it's actually happening. Or you never know, this could be a massive decoy. Or Sky just trying to, like, gamble to get ahead of all of the Ornsteins of this world, the Di Marzios of this world, the Fabrizio Romanos. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different things that could be at play. And with the transfer window being in the state that it's in now, towards the end of it, things can change very quickly indeed. But those are my top line thoughts on Toney. Let me know yours in the comments down below. There's another brilliant piece of news here that I'm absolutely buzzing about. And throughout the day today, there's been a lot of rumours about TREVOH CHALOBAH. TREVOH CHALOBAH could stay at Chelsea this season. The 25-year-old was omitted from CFC's pre-season tour of the US and is of interest to Crystal Palace, but he might remain at Stamford Bridge if Axel Disasi is sold. The French centre-back is the subject of interest from Newcastle United. This would actually be the ideal scenario. I have never wanted Chalobah to leave Chelsea. I think he could right now be one of the best centre-backs at the club, and he would be directly in competition with Wesley Fofana to partner Levi Colwill. If this is the case, look, Axel Disasi, he endeared himself to Chelsea fans last season, scored a goal on his debut, jumped in the crowd at Crystal Palace, but the reality of the situation is he's an inconsistent defender who was overpriced when Chelsea bought him. So, as much as we would probably make a loss on him, if we can sell him and keep Chalobah, a homegrown player, a player that knows Chelsea, he's more of a leader than Axel Disasi, I think this is the answer that I've been waiting for. This is exactly what we need. Chalobah has been shunned out of the club, banished from the training ground, not allowed to come on a pre-season tour, when all along you look at Chelsea's defence from pre-season into the new season and you're like, what the bloody hell is going on here? There's no leadership. We're not good enough. We're still learning on the flipping job. And Trev, 25 years old, going into the prime years of his career, look, sometimes you want to make the sale because you need to balance the books. I get it. But other times you've got to make exceptions when it's the right time and the right player to do so. And 100%, in my mind, Chalobah is the right player for that. There were times last season where I was like, I don't know, like, is he really that good? Towards the end of the season, massive. Chelsea's record when Chalobah plays, fantastic. We concede less goals, we win more football matches. No-brainer. I absolutely want to see this happen. We will see if anything does happen with this. If we can sell Axel Disasi, then I expect Chalobah to stay. The next piece of news is about Sancho and Sterling. This comes from The Athletic through David Ornstein. Now, this is another one that we could see at Chelsea. We do think a striker's coming in. If Chalobah stays, then that answers the question about, is there going to be a new centre-back at the club? Probably not if Trev stays. So if that's the case, we've been hearing that Chelsea want one or two more signings for the first team now. Then if Trev stays and Disasi is sold and we don't sign a new centre-back, that means new striker, Toney or Osimhen, probably. And then it could be a Jadon Sancho. The only thing with me here with Sancho is the wages again. We've spoken all the time, all of the last week about Osimhen, wage demands. Do Chelsea want to break it? Will Osimhen drop it? In Ivan Toney's not going to be a problem in that sense. Sterling is currently a problem, not part of the manager's plan. Sancho probably fits the bill for a Maresca winger a little bit more. But what's he going to be on? That is my big question here with Jadon Sancho. Like, he's also been trouble at Man United. Do we need that at Chelsea? Or will it be different? I've got a feeling it just would be different at Chelsea. I think Sancho would thrive. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments down below. Particularly, let me know your thoughts on Toney to Chelsea. An interesting story here from Sky, and I'll be sure to update you guys in about 12 hours or so from now when you see the early morning Wednesday video on GBFC. Thank you guys for watching. See you in a bit.